If you were to tell me that I'd be spending my summer in Bulgaria, out in the mountains, I would say you're crazy. But here I am. Life works in mysterious ways, and I found myself far away from Colombia, probably one of the furthest places that I could have gone to. Most, I would say, remote, probably, as far as Western perspective goes. But here I am, and I'm glad to be here. This Europe trip has been much needed, I would have to say. I have to say, because towards the end of my stint in Colombia, or at least the past few months, I was getting to a point where I was feeling, I dislike using the word burnt out, but I was unmotivated, I would say. I also don't like using that word, but I'll use it. Lack of a better word, that's the one I'm going to use. I didn't really find much energy or passion towards my routine, going to the gym, continuing with work. I was getting fed up with it. I was not enjoying it at all. That's actually a better word. It's not fun, not enjoyable at all, despite me liking doing those things. And now it's been 10 days since I've been here in Europe, traveling, been to a few countries by now, went to Spain, went to Paris, France, now in Bulgaria. We'll see where the next stop goes. But I have to say it's been a much needed reset, mentally most of all, because I can't say that I was tired, but it was just mentally drained as far as well my day-to-day routine entailed, and just the work, the workout, everything, right? I needed to take a break to detach myself, to gain some clarity, gain perspective, and it was a much needed reset. I'm glad that I took this trip, and mainly because it gave me a chance to dial back on what I was doing. Sometimes you're too close or you're too deep in a problem that you can't actually see it until you take a step back. When you're There's a friend of mine used to always say that when you're in a hole, the first step is to stop digging to get out of the hole. And not that I was in a hole by any means, but you get what I mean by that. Essentially, just take a step back and assess the problem from a higher level perspective, not when you're inside. It's hard to see the jar when you're inside the jar. So, the reset, much needed, and again, it all ties back into what I believe is one of the best ways to force a reset, which is just changing your environment. And it's been the case for me. It's been extremely helpful for me for sure, just to spice it up a bit. And I've also just taking it as an exercise to enjoy myself, actually sightsee, do things. This is my first trip ever to Europe, 30 years old, before I got to cross the Atlantic. So I also decided to take some time to learn how to enjoy these new experiences, which I'm experiencing for the first time. So life lessons and lots of insight learned, and I'm glad I did it. So it's been allowed me to relax, and it also actually, like it normally does, it gives me a boost in eagerness to come back to my routine, settle into the workflow, the routine, the day-to-day operations. It's like when you're someone who likes to go to the gym, then you hate taking rest days, but then when you take a rest day or a whole week off, then the week after that, you're dying to get back. You're ready to go, eager to get back into the groove of things. That's basically what happened. So I'm glad that is the case. I knew that was going to be the case, but sometimes it's still a challenge to overcome that initial resistance of, I can't stop. I don't want to stop. But you have to, so that then you can come back with much more force, vigor, energy, and enthusiasm. So change your environment. Great way to reset. It got a bit dark outside. I was messing with the mic. It wasn't syncing for some reason, and the light escaped me despite it being light out for most of the day. But better lighting will ensue in the future videos. So that's my message for today. As always, thank you all for watching. Hope you got some value. Let me know in the comments below if you did. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.